You know me, Darryl Bumpass. Listen, we need to talk. We need to talk. I come to realize that we give a lot of consent. We give consent to a lot of people. We give our consent to a lot of people. When we go into the doctors, we giving them our consent and saying, do what you may. When we go to a dentist, we sign a consent form to say, do what you may. When we even go to amusement parks, at times we have to give our consent to say, do what you may. When I was getting in that airplane, which was an amazing experience, jumping out of that airplane, before I can even get on that airplane, before I can even put on the harness, before they can even go through the safety instructions, I had to sign a consent form. So I say that to say this. When do we start giving consent to ourselves? I give myself consent to step into my greatness. Yeah, I like that. I give myself consent to step into my blueprint. I give myself consent to find my purpose. What is my purpose? It's the question a lot of people are posing to themselves. What is my purpose? How do I find my purpose? Listen, there are things that are working on your behalf. It's just waiting for you to give your consent that it's okay. I'm in agreement. I recall someone called me and she said, I've been following you for several years, right? And I've watched your videos. I've read your books. And I've been trying to get an appointment with you for about a year. But in between that time, I've heard you say, invest in yourself, build up your self-esteem. But what I'm contacting you for is the question that I've been wanting to ask you since I came across your video, your very first video. Since I read your very first book. The question I would like to ask you is, can you teach me how to love? Can you teach me how to love? What a profound question. I mean, the question had me pausing for a moment. I was taken back by the question. And it got me thinking, it's not, can you teach me how to love? It's, can you teach me how to love myself? Can you teach me how to love myself? That, my friends, I can do. Remember, when we invest in ourselves, we invest in others. But you have to love yourself first. As some of you have heard me say, there was this time in my life when I was carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders. I was saying yes to everyone else and saying no to myself. The best example that we can set when we are looking for love, the best example that we all can set, the lesson I had to learn is that I had to show how much I loved myself first in order for others to see how to love me. Can you teach me how to love? The first thing we can do is give ourselves consent to love ourselves, because we give so much consent to others on how to love us. So it's time for us to get into that agreement. There are things that's already happening for you. You just have to get into that agreement. He's leaning in my direction. I like that. He's leaning in my direction. I got a seed in the ground. I like that. Talk that talk, D. Well, I'm going to talk that talk. I give myself permission. Let me hear you say that. I'll give you a minute. Go ahead. Knock yourself out. I give myself permission. I give myself consent to step into my blueprint. I give myself the consent to love myself first. I give myself the consent to have a peace of mind and happiness. I like that. I give myself a peace of mind and happiness. Listen, if you're watching this video, the one thing that we all have in common, that I believe that we all want, is a peace of mind and happiness. You just have to decide how you're going to go get it. It's already getting better. You just have to give your consent that you're in agreement with it. I consent to the next level. Yes. I consent to stepping into the next level. Are you ready? Keep moving forward. Give your consent. Get in agreement with life. Get out of your own way. Be honest with yourself so that you can start giving yourself the consent to do the things that you want to do. When they told me that I was crazy for jumping out of a plane, they said, was it your bucket list? And I said, no, it's not a bucket list, it's a challenge list. But I was giving myself the consent to challenge myself. Give yourself the consent to continue to challenge yourself. No matter how old you are, continue to challenge yourself. Every day you're above ground, you are winning. Even if they think you're losing, you are winning. Because he's leaning in my direction. I got a seed in the ground. I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking about what I'm talking about. I'm so happy and grateful for you taking time out of your life and your schedule to spend this moment with me. Go give your consent to yourself. Peace.